on TikTok. Hopefully everything's looking pretty good. I've got the green screen up. I could not get up my background. Hopefully soon we will have a change. I've got the green screen up. For get up my back. Hopefully we'll have a change here pretty quickly. Um, and for some reason I'm running. It's running on YouTube as well. Goodness gracious! Let's see if we can get this done. Okay. So what's happening today in the market? We're near a follow through day. Um, we definitely, the VIX has definitely come down in terms of volatility. Oil is up, and it continues to rise. And, that's just been sort of the thing. If you're interested in taking a look at this show with all of the with all of the charts and everything, very easy to do. Just if you're on TikTok, just go to my profile, click the link, and you can see all the charts and everything. And hopefully, we can take all of these questions as they happen. So, without further ado, let's get into the show. Basically, the oil is continuing to rise, and we'll see. All the S&P sectors right now are positive. That's a good sign. We may be coming to a we may be coming to a situation where we are we're going to be lost the connection. Goodness gracious, still a little bit of a amateur hour here. Let's see if I can let's see if I can get everybody back on again here. See if I can see if this will work. All right, goodness gracious, super. All right, so there we go. So hopefully this will this will work. Let's see if we can put the background up. Okay, great. Thank you very much. Let's see. Just looking for. Oh, great. Okay, so we got some people that are joining. Excellent. Basically, we're simulcasting this on YouTube at youtube.com/Dallas Trading Floor. If you're looking on TikTok, super easy. Just go over to my profile and click on the link, and you'll be able to see all the charts that we're showing right now. So let's take a look at the first one. Basically, what's happening is the Nasdaq surged today, basically 3.4%, and it retook that critical 14,000 level, and the QQQ reversed higher. So let's take a look on the charts here to take a look at the at the Nasdaq, and this is critical because this is one of the indexes that we're using for the follow through day. And if you've been following my show, you'll know that basically this is one of the key levels. And let's put the Nasdaq up here. Come on. In AS. Okay, come on. There we go. Goodness gracious, why am I not getting this? Because I put it to 0. And there we go. Okay, Nasdaq Composite. Finally got it up there. So basically what's going on here is let's share the Nasdaq Composite here on the screen, and there we go. Okay, so basically what's going on here is we pulled all the way down, and if you'll notice, I made a notation here on the 28th, 26th. That was basically that was basically last week that we had sunk into this level. We were starting to get some follow through, and then we moved above 14,000. That's very, very key. We still are not at a follow through. We're still not at a follow through day yet, and that's critical because what we want to do is right now we're mostly in cash. And we're waiting to get back into the market. And the signal to get back into the market is the follow-through day. And we need them on 2 indexes. The NASDAQ looks very good today. Let's take a look at the S&P. I think that also may be looking good as well. And we will absolutely notify everyone of the follow-through day. But you need to be on the action trade alerts. Super easy to do. Just go to my profile, click on the link, and first and last name, and we'll be good to go there. So let's look at the S&P to see kind of how that's looking in terms of everything. There we go. Same kind of situation. This bounced on the 200-day moving average, and that is So that is good as well. So we've got a bounce there, and looks like we have some greater than average we have greater than average volume. That is definitely good. And let's take a look at the Nasdaq once again. And remember, we need 4 days of this in order to signal an uptrend. And all right, so let's go back to the Nasdaq, and hopefully there we go, Nasdaq Composite, and let's look at that one. We definitely have just barely above average volume. So we do have good volume. We moved above the 10-day line. That is good. So we definitely have some support there. We're getting close to the, but we're not there yet. We're getting close to the we're getting close to the fall through day, but we're not at that fall through day yet. So let's see if I can get the correct slides back here again. Wow, there we go. Okay, so is that the right slides? Let's see. Slides and share. Okay, well, all right. Well, that doesn't. Oh, there we go. Okay, so that's the issue. There we go. So, basically, I want to show you a stock that I do think I am watch listing this one right now, specifically, and that is AMD, and it does look like it was reversed higher. So that indeed is looking good here as well. This is one I have on the watch list, up $9 today. Probably will pull back a little bit, but this is definitely a reversal on AMD. So we might want to start putting in a position on AMD, possibly as early as tomorrow, but I will definitely be looking at. But this, you definitely want to take a look at this one as well and put this on your watch list. I want to show you that the volatility has moved down. That's a good sign. That means that it possibly is moving higher. We did have an awful lot of volatility last week. We had many down days, and basically just really on Friday is when it started to turn up. So the volatility is down. Here's a stock that I am buying right now. I bought this today, and it's a little bit early maybe, but this is Williams Company, and symbol WMB. And the good thing about this one, and I kind of want to show you this on the charts here, this one I do like, and the reason that I like it is because of its strength. I want to show you this checklist. It's a 100% checklist on this, so this is extremely strong. The ratings here, it's basically right at the pivot at 29.84. So right at the pivot. Hopefully we'll go higher with this. It's cup with handle. This is a very good pattern. And on the technicals, we are above the 200-day line, the 50-day line, the 21-day line, and the 10-day line. So this one, I do believe, is looking fairly good. Now, along with the Williams, the only other stock that I'm currently holding long in the small portfolio is Matson Lines, MATX. This is a shipping company, and it pulled back a little bit today, but it has railroad tracks. I still like this one a lot. I bought a half position at 95.80. We're at 97.66, just basically on the 26th, basically on Thursday. So not very long time ago. We're coming out of cash now. We're just letting the market draw us in with good stocks. This also is a 100% checklist. I wanted to show you this because this is important, that we try to move in with as much quality as we possibly can. Let's look at the technicals. The technicals are quite good. They're 27% above 200, 50, 21-day, and 10-day. So let's kind of look out to see when earnings are going to happen on this one. Earnings basically are in 17 days on Matson. So here's the thing with these stocks. When you buy them in these good positions, you want to buy them and then be very careful going into earnings. If you're not up 10% in earnings, it's a good idea to sell, hold through the sale, and then possibly buy them on the other side. But one thing I can say, this is an inflation play, and we're seeing some very nice We're seeing some very nice sales increases. Also, look at these earnings increases, 300%, 388%. So this is a very, it's a very boring area, which is shipping, but it's looking very, very good. All right, so let's see if we can find. Okay, great. Well, thank you very much for going live. All right, lots of people are joining. By the way, if you want to see all of the charts and everything, super duper easy. All you have to do is go to my profile, click on the link, and it will show you the chart. It'll take you over to YouTube, where we were running basically all of the charts right now. So, and let's go to see kind of where we're at. This is all right. The stock of the day. I don't recommend necessarily this one, but this is an interesting stock. It's a bank, IBN bank. It is in a cup pattern. It is emerging. There is a buy point on it at 22.44. Let me go over here to this stock and let's analyze it just really quickly. IBN is the name, is the symbol of the stock. I'm going to hop back on over to the chart here, and let's see if we can get the chart up. Yeah, there we go. This is the chart for IC Bank. Which I don't quite know how to pronounce it. I'm looking at the weekly chart. Let's look at the checklist for this. This checklist is not as strong as I'd like to see it. It's only a 67%. So even though this is the stock of the day, I think that my two other picks probably are a little better right now. That's Matson Line, MATX, and Williams Companies, WMB. So I've talked a lot, and let's get to some questions. Thank you for holding. Oh, one more last thing, just wanted to show you here before we go off these slides, and that is, if you're interested, we are coming into a time when we're coming into we're coming into a fall through day. When the fall through day happens, you want to kind of look at the ready list. I spelled that wrong, but it should be 2022 ready list, the January 27th list. You can do it by going to this address here, https://bit.ly, and this is kind of hard to read. 3 capital H lowercase e 046Q. So if you go to that, you will get the action trade alerts. Now, it's also easier to do that by just going directly to www Dallas Trading Floor, and then there's a button that you can push. Much easier than remembering this, but this will show in case you can't get to that. So www Dallas Trading Floor. So thanks for that. Let's take a first question. Thank you very much for holding, everybody. Jay got in first, as almost always. Are you still shorting PayPal? Well, you know what? I am. And that's probably not necessarily the greatest thing. I do have a short on it. It did move up today, but it's moving down after hours. So the question is, how long am I going to hold on to this? How long am I going to hold on to this short? Well, I don't know. Let's go over the daily. You did have a tremendous update today. I do think I had on the 27th, I initiated this 170, 175 bear call spread for a net of 136. Now, it does appear that we've pulled all the way up to the 30-day, the 21-day line. If we are rejected at that 21-day line and go lower, then I probably will keep this. So we're going to have earnings in about 1 day. Now, why would I hold this one through earnings, you say? Well, that's a very good question. Well, let's look at how it reacts typically on earnings. Well, if we look at this closely, we can see that PayPal tends to go down on earnings, even if the earnings are good. If you could see this, you see that every time. So the last four, this is the fourth time. No, for the last 4 times, it's gone up once, but it's gone down 3 times. So we are kind of expecting a correction here a little bit. We will see. Of course, we were in a different market, but that is why I am holding it. So very, very good, very, very good question there. I appreciate that, Jay, very much. So I'm holding that. I may change, but who knows? Who knows? I haven't made the decision yet. Jim, thoughts on SoFi looking to reverse? Great question. Let's look at SoFi. We're finally getting to the point where if we have a follow through day, we may see some nice reversals. Um, and that is a potential because it has been being beaten up. And it does appear that it is making its way up. Now, I'm drawing a reversal line here. And the reason I'm doing that is because on this trend line, this is the trend that we needed to move above. So we're currently still in a downward trend. So I would be a little bit careful here in this one on a downward trend. But if we can move above that 21-day line and above, specifically above about $15, that's where the reversal line, then you could say that the trend has changed and we're going to move higher. That's not the case currently. We are not. The trend is still down, unfortunately, for SoFi. But if we move above about 15, then I think that it will look good. The checklist, unfortunately, on SoFi is quite weak at 56. So I would be a little bit careful here. We're still in a downward trend. Not a time to necessarily go up. Good question from Ahmad. Thank you very much. Are you still holding Matson? Absolutely. MATX is definitely one of my holdings. My only two long holdings currently are Matson and Williams Companies, WMB. I am definitely holding this one. It pulled back down a little bit today at 97.66. We entered here on the 26th, a half position at 95.80 with a stop loss at 91. I'm still in it. This is a strong stock, 100% checklist. We're coming off this very, very nice cup with handle base, moving it up nicely. So I do kind of expect, hopefully, if we can clear this pivot, then I think we're going to be, I think we're going to be going much higher on this one. But Matson, I am still holding Matson. And basically, the way Matson is looking is we're with this cup with handle. I did buy that half position, 95.80, with a stop loss of 91 on the 26th. So I am still very bullish on this. This is an inflation play. They're definitely printing money right now as the shipping gets more and more difficult. All right, is this a bull trap? It might be. That's a great question, Troy. That's a great question. I think you've been around a little bit of time. It could be. It could be a bull trap, but I have a feeling based on this chart that we're going to see some nice action on it. But right, we have not had a fall through day yet, so we are moving in early. So that's one thing that we have to be careful about. We are moving into in early. All right, let's take a look. Let me go to another question besides Jay. I love your questions, Jay, but let's go to another question. Let's look at Tesla because that's on everybody's mind. I was stopped out of Tesla at 980, and Tesla is just one of those stocks that just, man, it just when it moves, and we are very close to a reversal line here. I want to put out there to everyone that it will start to move into an upward trend if it closes above 966. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set one of my I'm going to set an alert at 980 because I do believe that will show an uptrend in Tesla, and also that's where I was stopped out initially. So confirmed moves to uptrend. And what I'm doing here is I'm just showing you basically where I think it's going to move to an uptrend. This is the reversal line going from the high up here at 1242 down through 1201 and then all the way down. So this is showing the reversal. We're still in a downward trend, but if you look at this, and this is key, we're seeing this very nice movement of the RS line moving to the upside with very, very nice with very nice volume. So the question is it time to buy yet? No, I would hold until it moves above about 980. So I'm looking to come back in I'm looking to come back into um, Tesla. So I'm looking to come back into Tesla at 980 or above. So I want to see a strong close. I want to see a strong close on Tesla, and then I'm looking to come back in. I'm definitely looking to come back into Tesla at 980 or above. So that's where I'm looking at it, and it basically is right at this level here. This is the reversal line. That's where I'm looking to go. So above here, I'm looking to be in. I'm looking to be in. I'm looking to be in above this line. So that's a great question on Tesla. I'm still bullish on Tesla. It's just hard to trade it because it's so volatile. So volatile. All right. Let's look at Ford. This is a question from Jay about Ford. Am I still bullish? I've been out of Ford for a while. Ford was not able to hold. A lot of stocks weren't able to hold either. It wasn't able to hold above its 10-day line. It fell. Typically, what I do is when I get a stock that's moving like this, I will set my stop loss typically at that 10-day line, and if it violates that, that's usually where I'm out. This is really for swing trading. Do I see support? Well, it seems like there's some support right about 19, and it does look like it's up after hours. Tough to trade again, just not necessarily the stock that we would like to see. There is one stock that I'm very interested in. I don't have a position in it yet, and I want to show you this because it's Nvidia. Of course, everybody's familiar with this one. I had a bear trade on this one. I closed it and I opened a bull trade based on its reversal. So let's look here at Nvidia, and I have this marked. I don't know if you can see it. Hopefully you can't. Oops. Hopefully you can see this. It's a little tough to see. Let me see if I can change the color on that so you can see this note that I have on it. Let's go to the markup tool, go over here, and let's see if we can change that to, let's see if that'll let us do that. I think it will. Yeah, okay, there we go. So I have a green line here. This is where I was bearish on this. It came down to the 200-day line. I closed that trade today. I closed the trade that I opened, the bear trade that I had, the put spread. I closed that for and then I reopened a bull put spread, and this should do very well as it has moved higher. Now the question is, it moved up 16 points today. I'm not sure if I made money on that one or not. Let me check. Let's see. Let's check in on that trade, because I did go from a bear to a bull trade. So let's see if I can scare that one up here and show you. Let's look at that. I'm gonna get it from Google Slides, and this is Nvidia. I want to kind of bring up this. Yeah, this is my new trade on Nvidia. I kind of want to show you the slides on it. And it takes a second for this to load. There we go. Okay, so basically I did do this new trade. This is a bull trade, not a bear trade. I closed my bull trade, I opened a bear trade, and this is what I did. I moved in today basically with two contracts of the March 4th 240 put, and then simultaneously selling the 245 put for a total credit of 524. And this break even is 242. Let's just take a look, see if I'm even close. I came in at 238.82, and now we're at 245. So I'm pretty confident that we're going to do very well on this trade. It's moved definitely in my direction. So let me see if I can put that up, and let's get that other one. Let's see if I can get that updated here on the, there we go. Takes me a second to update it because I have to go into the actual program and look at it. But it's Nvidia, and I did go from a bear trade to a bull trade today, and I hope that was a good idea. I think it was because of where it closed. When I started seeing it make the move, that's kind of where that's kind of where I made my move too. As I made the move. Let's see if I can get that in here. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. Okay. So let's see. Okay, so that is that, and I'm just going to go to the live. I'm just going to go to the live feed on that, and we'll just kind of do it here. We basically it closed today at 245. So if we take the thing, we're going to look at about 245. That means that when it opens today, oops, let's get down there one. So we're up about $54. As you can see, we went from here at this level, which we opened the trade at 238.50. That's when it was trading, and then it moved way up. Now, if it can hold this, it's probably going to come into this zone and make all the money. This is a March 4th, not 18th, but a March 4th trade. So that's one I am bullish on, and that is Nvidia. Now, I think it has reversed, and hopefully it's reversed higher. Hopefully that one has reversed higher. So let's take a look at the other stock that I think is going to reverse here, and already has, and that's AMD. I currently don't have any trades on AMD, but if we can see if this thing will move, then I may be back in it because it's come all the way down and tested that 200-day line, and it does look like we're moving up. We're up in the after hours. I like that very, very much. We're still a long way from that reversal line. The question is, can we buy it as it bounces off the 200-day line? Well, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to buy this one tomorrow because I'm going to wait for those earnings because they're in one day. So I'm going to basically watch this, and I'm going to watch AMD tomorrow and see what happens. And then if we get a positive response, I will probably be back in. Let's kind of look at how it's progressed through earnings before. Now, the last earnings period, it actually went up. That's great. And the period before that, it went up. So that's great. So the third period, it went down. So if I were a betting man, I would say there's a good likelihood that we're going to see a bounce if the earnings are good on Nvidia. And then we won't know until tomorrow night, but I think there's a very, very good chance of that. So thank you very much for that question. All right, we'd like to talk about Tesla. Let's look at Peloton and Lucid. I did close my trade on Peloton today. I didn't make a whole lot of money, but I just figured, well, it was a bear trade and I wasn't really sure. So I closed it for a slight profit. Peloton did trade up today, but then it traded down. So I basically am pretty much flat on this trade, but I'll show you how that trade looked. We did end up the day on Peloton at 24.33. So basically, what I have done here is let's go to the slides here, and this is going to be for Peloton. And I did close this one today, and I kind of want to show you this. This is not a huge gain. I've done better, but I'm not complaining because, hey, when a profit is a profit, you're not going to go broke taking a profit. So on Peloton, I did have this bear put spread, which I did close today, as I indicated before, and that basically will show you that here. We're going to move one forward here. Okay, yeah. So basically, the way that worked is today, and you can barely see this. We did close it for a measly $106 profit, and we did close it. This is where it was closed. I'm going to put closed price because that's what it was. And when it closed, it showed that the profit should be about 102. We got 106, so that's pretty close. That's pretty close. That's pretty close to reality. And as it dove down, I was just a little bit concerned that we might get a bounce there, so I went ahead and I took the profit. We closed at 26, and the total profit on Peloton on this one, measly 106, but we did make money on it, and that is indeed the key. So these spread trades do work, but you've got to be kind of nimble on them. All right, Jim, holding forward, earnings coming, hold or sell. Here's my rule on doing that, and that's a very good question. That's a very good question. If you're up, at least, here's the thing: unless you're up at least 10% coming into earnings, and I don't think you probably are, I would sell. And the reason was because we don't know. We might have a bounce here, but we want to hold on to the profits if we have any. Now the question is, where did you buy? If you bought at the buy point, which was a cup, and it was way back. It was basically 97 days ago. So I don't know if you did buy back there. I did buy there, and I did sell. If you bought there, you would be in 14.50 45, and if that was the case, then you probably should sell. So my guess on this one is I think that you need to possibly sell before earnings to protect any gains. That's how I would play it. And I know it's very conservative, but I would I would be looking to sell into earnings if I wasn't up at least 10%. All right, so part of the reason that you want to do that is if you have any gain at all, you want to protect it. Oops, that's not what we want to see. So I would be looking to sell into earnings if I wasn't up at least 10% here on Ford, and I doubt that you are. So if you do have earnings, I'd recommend protecting them. I also think that if you're going through earnings and you're in a loss position, you should definitely sell, because that will protect you from a further loss. And I'm not trying to say that that Ford is going down, but I think you've got to be very careful here at this level. All right, thank you for that question. Very good question. All right, Nvidia. We did do a little bit on the Nvidia Outlook. Thanks, Harris. Appreciate this one. I do believe that Nvidia is reversed and is moving higher. And I did change my position here from a bear trade, as you can see, to a bull trade. And the reason I did that was because it became very evident that we had 2 up days in a row, and we had bounced off that 200-day line. So I misjudged it a little bit. I thought that it was going to continue on down. So what I did is I closed my bear trade, and then I opened this other spread, this bull put spread, so hopefully to get the motion as it moves up. So that's what I did. That's what I did there. All right, BX. Let's look at that. Take a look at BX and see if there's anything there. Blackstone. And this is the biggest asset manager in the world, I believe. I believe this is. Very interesting. Double bottom. Very, very, very good pattern. We have a great buy point on this one on a double bottom at 136.46. So we are lining up very nicely. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw this reversal line. Oops, and I'm going to draw it correctly, hopefully. From the top here, yep, it's got to go through that intermediate point. So we definitely have reversed higher. So this is an area where, we could look at possibly doing a, we could possibly look at, possibly getting in early here. This is a reversal, and it does look good. The RS line is moving up. Let's look at the checklist. Wow, that's an excellent checklist. This is buyable, absolutely buyable. So, here's the thing on Blackstone, at least for right now, at least as in the market right now, BX is buyable on the reversal. So is viable as a reversal. So I think that is looking very good. So that is definitely reversed, and it's reversing higher with a relative strength of 96. Wow, that's very, very good. Also, this is in the finance investment management area, 84 out of 197. So that's not bad. Not in the best of the place there, but very, very good all the way around. All right. Thank you very much for that. All right. Let's look at MU. Now, MU is an interesting company, of course, because in many ways, I believe MU is misclassified. Why do I say that? Well, it's really a semiconductor company, though it is classified as a it is classified as a computer storage company. It very much is that. They make computer storage, but they are really a semiconductor manufacturer, and they do make their own chips. So this is an interesting company. Um, Here's the thing about it. It looks as if we're getting some support at the 200-day line. I'm not ready to buy this one yet because I think that there's a little bit better merchandise. This was the original reversal line. We're still in an upward trend. I did establish a position. I got stopped out of it, unfortunately, and it pulled down to the 21. Do I want to take another whack at this one? Well, the checklist is excellent. The only problem is it's a little bit far off of its all-time high, but it's hitting on all cylinders for everything else. So let's look at this. So this is not a bad position. It looks as if we may be getting sort of on the cup with handle. We may be getting a buy point at about 89, but we're at 81 currently. The question is, can it show strength? Well, I wouldn't buy this one until we have a follow-through day. But this is very high on my list. This is a good stock, and I think it could go a lot higher. But my concern on this one is the overall market, not MU. So for MU, for MU, wait for the follow-through day to buy. And I really think that this is so it's a watch list for now. The reason I want to watch list this one for now is because I do think it's a great stock, but I think that it needs to be it needs to be in the market trend. Currently, the market is not moving higher. We are still kind of in this weird area where we don't have a fall through day yet. So that's kind of my take on MU. Great stock, but I would concentrate on other stocks possibly in the tech space. Before that, one of the ones, of course, I think is AMD. Maybe a good time to buy AMD once again. It's tough to buy these until we get a confirmed uptrend. It's going to be a little bit difficult, just because of the way the market is trending. It's tough. All right. Question on ARK, ARKR. Let's look at this. It's one of the ARK funds. If I were a bottom fisher, I would probably. Oh, wait a minute. ARK Restaurants. I'm sorry. I thought it was ARK and ARK Invest. Excuse me. Don't know much about this one. It's in the restaurant area. I am not necessarily a fan of this right now with the COVID thing going on. Only a 56 checklist on this one. On the pattern rack, let's see. It's 30% below the pivot, and it's below the 200-day. I think you just gotta avoid this one. Unfortunately, I wish I had better news for you here, but I think on this one you need to avoid this stock. Avoid this stock. So I wouldn't be buyer of this one. On this one, if I would avoid ARK Restaurants, which is ARKR. I think that's right. I think I got it right from the comments, didn't I? ARKR. Yeah, I'm sorry about this, but yeah, you need to avoid this stock. You really do. I just don't think that this one is going to work. It just doesn't look good. There's just a lot of things. A lot of things about it. All right, let's take a look at Starbucks. That is one that is in the restaurant group. SBUX, of course, is the symbol for Starbucks. And this one has pulled way below the 200-day line. We're still really kind of in a tough place. A lot of stocks are there, a lot because we've had this correction. A lot of these stocks are trading below they're trading very much below their 200-day line. So I don't typically like to buy stocks when they're below the 200-day line because it does look like we're getting some strength here, and we may get some strength in it, but I just don't like to buy below that 200-day line. And currently we're in a downtrend. Now, we do have earnings in one day. So here's the thing. I just don't think this is viable right now, and I would wait for earnings. We're 17% below the pivot, so I just don't like this one right now. So for Starbucks, I mean, I would be very careful. And of course, it's a tough market. There's not a lot of great stuff right now to buy, but Starbucks, it may turn around, but just wait for a better chart. It's a great company, but I think you got to watch this one for now. I just do. It doesn't have the right look. So as you can see, it's in a downward trend. We don't like to buy them in a downward trend. Yeah. And another thing is that we have this 200-day line right here. It's below that. You see, it's below that. So not a good place to be buying a stock. We want to buy it above that line. On the pattern rec, we're 17% below that pivot. The checklist is 56. I just think it's just an avoid. I'm afraid I think it's just an avoid on that one. So ExxonMobil, great question. Should I sell before earnings? Absolutely, Samuel. I closed my spread today on this one. We did well on this one. We actually closed correctly. This is the chart for Exxon. This is the chart currently for Exxon as we're going into earnings. I did close for a little profit, $301 here, but I did close this one for profit as we come into earnings. I don't like holding these things through earnings just because it's a little bit dicey. I want to kind of show you sort of how that looked. How that looks on. Well, let's go to the slide directly. That's the easiest way to do it. Let's go to that. Let's go to the slide here. All right, let's go back here and go to ExxonMobil. XOM is the symbol for ExxonMobil. I'm going to show you where I did close the trade. So here we go on ExxonMobil. There we go. Okay, so great. Basically, this is a bull trade. My little bull there, if you can see, kind of a cute little bull there. It's bullish. We did close it here. As you can see, we moved up nicely. We opened the trade here on the 18th of January. Then we did close it today. It says $273. Actually, we got a little bit more out of that, $301. We were able to close it for a little bit more of a profit, but this is sort of the track that it took. I decided to close it early here, not that I dislike Exxon. I like Exxon a lot. I just don't want to hold it through those earnings. Now, if we have a good earnings report, I'll probably be back into this trade after the earnings. But I want to take my earnings now and then possibly do another spread trade after the earnings. So this one looking pretty good. If you've been following, if you follow in the Discord room, we put these out all the time. So, okay, great. Thank you, Polly. ARK, I'm sorry, not ARKR. I apologize for that, Polly. I kind of figured that was right, but I didn't have the right. I didn't have the right symbol. So let's look at the correct one. TR. Excuse me. TRK. That's right. Let's see. ATKR. I'm sorry, ATKR. Mistake. ATKR. There. Oh, there we go. Okay. So let's put that one up and analyze that one. All right. Yeah, nice bounce off of that consolidation. Definitely consolidated. That's the range that's consolidating in. We definitely, it definitely looks like it may have broken a short-term trend. So that's good. That would be the, that would be the trend here. So, yep, it broke that trend. So it definitely is moving. It is definitely reversed and is moving higher on higher volume. So that's good. That means that it's moving up towards the resistance, this is about 118 here. 110 is where it currently is. 100% checklist. This is very strong. This is very, very strong. And I don't know who's buying this, but somebody is. It's a little bit high off the 10-day line, but other than that, it looks very good. This is buyable. Absolutely. It's buyable. Look at that. Relative strength is 98. So here's what I would say on that one, Paulie. It's definitely reversed, and it's reversed higher. So so ATRK has reversed higher and is buyable. So yeah, I mean, if you were to go in, if you were to go in here, this might not be a bad might not be a bad entry. This might not be a bad entry at all. We're definitely in a upward trend, and so that is good. We're in an upward trend, and we have a very strong checklist. It's 100%. That's excellent. On the technicals, we're above all the major indexes. That's good. On the industry sector, it's 72 out of 197, which is okay, but still quite good. It's up 1.9%. Year-to-date performance, it's been in a downward trend, but it's bottomed. It looks like it's moving higher. So my only concern on this one, and it's not really a big concern, is the fact that we're not in a confirmed uptrend. That's the only I mean, we're not in a confirmed uptrend on the market. We're waiting for that fall through day. Other than that, looks very, very good. It's potentially viable. mRNA for Samuel. Let's take a look at that. And I was looking at this one earlier in the Discord room, and we were taking a look to see kind of what we could do with mRNA and see kind of how that was trading. That's Moderna, of course. It has been kind of in a funk, as you can tell. It has been moving down. We did have this, I put this in here called the death cross. That's when the 40-day line crosses below that 200-day line, and that connotes weakness in the shares. We did have a trade up to the 10-day line, but we're still below the 10-day line. I just can't get excited about it. It's got a 56 checklist. I just think this is not a good buy right now. So, right now, this one I don't think is going to work. So I would not be in. I would not be in Moderna right now. It just doesn't look right to me in terms of its setup. So, so right now, mRNA is not a buy. It just isn't. It's still in a downward trend. Maybe that'll change, but right now, Moderna, I don't think you have. It's really not a buy. It's in a downward trend, and it's below the 200-day line. It's got the death cross, so a lot of things are not lining up for it as well as we would like. So, I wish I could say that Moderna was a buy right now. It's not a buy. So mRNA, I think you got to be very careful, and I wouldn't buy it. Now, I seem like I'm just going and I'm just saying what not to buy. There are some that I do like, and one of them, of course, is the one that I bought today, and that is Williams Companies, WMB. I also like, potentially as a reversal play, Nvidia. Nvidia is looking very, very strong today. I moved to a bull put spread on Nvidia today. So those two are looking good. I also think that you can look at some of the other companies like the shipping companies. MATX. This is the number one. This is the number one stock right now on the IBD on the IBD 50. So this is very worth looking at. But Matson Lines, MATX. I keep bringing up. It's not a very exciting company, but that's kind of one that is looking good. Roman has a question on Upstart. UPST, of course, is the symbol. UPST, Upstart. And that is still, unfortunately, in this terrible downward trend. I have drawn this reversal line on here, and I'm looking for it to move above that. We did have a nice movement today. Earnings are in 16 days, but this is a damaged stock. 56 is the checklist. I want to see a better technical setup. We are above the 10-day line, but we're below all the other major indexes. So right now, I just think we've got to wait for it to move higher, and I think we have to wait for it to reverse. And where I see that reversal, where I definitely see that reversal is above about 122.50. So, if Upstart UPST can move into a uptrend above basically, let's get the exact 122.50. I want to make sure that I have this right. Here we go. Yeah. I'm sorry. No, above about 120. Yeah, it's more like 120. I'd like to see it move into if it can move uptrend above 120. That is where you might have a good entry. I would not buy it below I would not buy it below 120, and the reason is because this actually could. Right now, the trend is down, and we do have the death cross. I want to show you this because this is a very serious thing. If the 50 to 40-day line closes below the 200-day line, this is a sign of weakness, and it does look like we have weakness here. Now, until I see it move above that trend line, I'm going to say that I would pass on this one. So I would be super careful on Upstart right now. I just don't think it. I think it's not a good time to buy it. Let's see if it has more strength. If it does, then we could possibly get into it. But right now, I think you got to be very, very careful. Could you please cover Twitter? Yes, absolutely. TWTR, of course, is the symbol. TWTR. Let's look at it and see if there's an opportunity here. Ooh, not a really, unfortunately, bad stock. We do have the death cross on it, right there. So this is a cross that is trending down. So right now, right now the trend. Remember the trend is your friend, and right now right now the trend is down. So, the trend on Twitter, TWTR, is down. And by the way, this Twitter has lost about it's lost about 30 billion. It's about I think 30. I don't know, $30 billion, something like of its valuation, in a very short time. So I would not be a buyer. Okay. And this is kind of something that oops, there we go. So I really wouldn't be a buyer here because the trend is down. Let's look at the kind of the whole history of it. You see, we made our high way back here when it came out. This is typical of a lot of stocks. 2003, we were all the way up here to 80, and we were looking very good up until about mid 2000, and then it just started this trend. Now, if we can get some support, maybe I would consider it. But this has a relative strength of this has a relative strength of 17, so it's not where you want it to be. You just don't want it to be. Let's see if I have some questions from TikTok. Thank you so much. TXMD is going to the moon in February. How do you know that? You probably don't. Not to be a smart act, but TXMD doesn't sound good to me, but maybe it is. Therapeutics MD. This is terrible stock. Sorry. I mean, I hate to be such a Debbie Downer, but no. Unfortunately, I don't think this is going anywhere but down. It has, by the way, everybody, this one has this is a 30-cent stock, and this is a penny stock, and this one is going down. So I would not buy this one. This is called Therapeutics MD. TXMD is a symbol, of course, and it has a market cap of 130 million. Small cap. This is not looking good. Do not buy this one. This is just. I mean, this one is. This one is not to buy. Oops. This one is just not a buy. TXMD, avoid it at all costs. This is a pump and dump, and it's not a good stock. You don't want this stock. So avoid TXMD at all costs. I don't think it's gonna go to the moon. Maybe it is. I mean, I hope it is. I hope you're right. I hope you're right, but I don't think you are. So, my opinion. All right, let's take a look at some of the last questions. We're just about ready to wrap up here. Let's look at Lucid. Thank you very much, Grace. LCID. This was one I was looking to short. I didn't short it. Maybe I should have. But this one is kind of in. I'm going to look at the daily chart here. We're right at the 200-day line. We did move up to the 299, so that's looking good. And there was some buying on it. I just don't think. I don't know. Maybe things will get better with this one. It does have a pretty decent checklist at 67. This is my minimum, by the way. On the technicals, we are basically below all the major indexes, 50, 21, and 10. So that means in the short term, people are selling this bad boy. I would be selling it too. So people are selling. Maybe you should too. So my look on that is, people are selling. LCID. People are selling Lucid. I would too. So I don't think you want this one right now. I don't think this one's going to survive. There's a lot of competition in the EV space right now. The best margins right now are Tesla. They're by far the best margins in the industry. I know that their stock has gone down, but margins. If you're making 10% or more a car, and that's what Tesla's doing, eventually you're going to probably win, especially when you have about a 65% market share in the United States. So, Lucid, maybe there's a market for this car, but I just don't like this stock. People are selling this one. I would sell it too. I would just sell it because, the trend is your friend, and I don't think that's a good trend. So, anyways. We have one last one, MRVI, and that's probably the last symbol I'm going to take today. MRVI, and let's take a look at MRVI. That is Marvani Life Sciences. Life Sciences, I do admit that I am not a great trader of stocks that are in the life sciences area. It's very tough business. You really have to know a lot, and I am not an expert. So I'm drawing a reversal line here on this, on the setting alert on that line, and it does look to me like it is a situation where it is still in a downward trend. Now, it is moving up. It has moved above the 10-day line. Do I like this area? Well, 161 out of 192. I kind of want to go fishing in a better pond than that. So I'm going to say pass on this one. I would just pass on this one right now. So I wouldn't say to avoid at all costs, but I'm saying, pass on this one. Pass on this stock. All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for watching today. I will be back tomorrow at 4 o'clock, same time. And we try to take all the questions that we possibly can within an hour. We're right at an hour right now. If you want to get on our action trailer, it's super easy to do. Just jump on over to Dallas Trading Floor. It has buttons for everything. www.Dallas Trading Floor. And if you're so in tune, we do have this great Discord room where we help people trade, and a lot of people have really gotten some good benefit out of that. That's also available if you go to Dallas Trading Floor. Also, sign up for our free action trailers. That's also available. And so till tomorrow, everybody, please, if I could make a request for you, please like the like the show. That helps us get out to a lot more people. Please like it. And till tomorrow, happy trading, everybody. I hope everyone is well, and I'll be back tomorrow at 4. And happy trading till then.